Hey, what is up, guys? MKBHD's smartphone of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the OnePlus 60 review. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And I got the OnePlus 60 on the very first day, and I know I'm late with the review, but I want to use this phone more extensively, and it has been almost 52 days of me using this phone, and I wanted to give a review more of me as a normal user than a reviewer. So without any further ado, let's get started. The very first time I got my hands on the OnePlus 60, it felt big in the hands. I mean, like, not as big as the Galaxy Note 9 or maybe the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, but it was big enough to be a two-handed device. Coming off from the OnePlus 3, the second biggest change for me was the materials used in the device. It comes with a glass back along with the Gorilla Glass 6, and I mean, sure, it makes the phone feel premium in the hands and also look premium, but it also makes it a lot more slippery. As a workaround, I grabbed a case from Spigen, but you could also use the one that came inside the box. Or you could go for the Midnight Black or the Thunder Purple variant, but that would cost you about 4,000 extra. And if you flip the device to the front, you get a beautiful optic AMOLED display. Now sure, it's a full HD display, but I had no complaints. In fact, it's also not that bad under the direct sunlight. Now you also get that beautiful water drop notch up top, and in my opinion, if you have to put a notch on your phone, this is the way to go. I mean, like, it doesn't take a lot of screen real estate and is much more beautiful than that Pixel's ugly bathtub notch. But there is one problem with the screen here. Unlike the OnePlus 6, OnePlus went really curvy on the edges with the 60's display. It is so curvy that it does cut some bits and pieces of an app if it is not that optimized. For example, I struggle to hit the close button in some menus inside the PUBG game. Now next up is the all-new in-display fingerprint scanner. Now this was a controversial decision by OnePlus, especially when they blamed the inclusion of the in-display fingerprint scanner for the removal of the headphone jack. Now I'm not really gonna talk about why OnePlus removed the headphone jack, because I think it will die eventually, and if you're not up with the wireless world, you can go check out the OnePlus Type-C Bullets earphones. Again, review and the link to buy in the description box below.
ब्रो एक गेम पबजी खेले।
भाई मुझे 10 मिनट देते, मुझे फोन चार्ज करना है, फिर खेलते हैं।
अरे यार साथ में लगा लेना चार्जिंग पोर्ट और वो।
That being said, the in-display fingerprint scanner on the OnePlus 60 is not really that bad, and I'm saying this after using it for straight 20 days after I eventually enabled the face unlock. I mean, like, it's not as fast as the physical sensor, but it does improve over time. And if you're still struggling with it and you are trying to improve the accuracy, you can just feed in your finger twice. I know it sounds weird, but it works. But there are a couple of problems with the in-display fingerprint scanner on the OnePlus 60. The first is, now you have to actually wake the device before you can unlock it, unlike before. A simple workaround here is that you enable the lift to wake feature, but that's way more sensitive in my opinion, and it keeps the device in the ambient display mode like forever. The second comes when you're trying to unlock the device in a pitch dark room. When you try to unlock the device through the fingerprint scanner, the animation happens at max brightness, blinding you in the process, and believe me, it's really annoying. But I think it can be fixed through a software update. Now let's talk about the user interface and the performance. Now OnePlus phones have always been known for how fast they are when it comes to user interface and other graphic intensive tasks. And you guessed it right, OnePlus 60 is no different. I have the 6GB variant with me, but you also get an option for 8GB RAM and even with the 10GB RAM with the McLaren edition. Apart from this, we have the Snapdragon 845 processor under the hood along with the Adreno 630 GPU baked with my favorite Android skin of all time, the Oxygen OS. Yes, I am a big fan of stock Android, but OnePlus is really upping their game with Oxygen OS. And with all those little features like the new gesture control, face unlock, and even Bluetooth audio tuner, it is clearly beating stock Android at the moment, at least for me. Simple things like the ability to pull down notifications menu with a swipe down actually makes it easier for even people with smaller hands. This along with beastly specs also makes it kind of a perfect smartphone for gaming. I say kind of because of that tiny single bottom firing speaker. Yes, that's definitely one of the downsides of the device. So again, you are better off with wearing earphones while gaming on this device. Now, if you would ask my personal favorite feature of the OnePlus 60, I would say the battery life. The battery life on this guy is insane. Sure, OnePlus removed the headphone jack, but they also bumped up the battery from 3300 mAh in OnePlus 6 to 3700 mAh in the OnePlus 60. This, coupled with the full HD optic AMOLED display, makes this guy a true champ in the battery life department. Translating this to numbers, I was getting anywhere around 7.5 hours of screen on time on an average day. On the other hand, on a typical heavy day with lots of photo editing, photo clicking and gaming, the 60 still got me through the day with over 8 hours of screen on time. Although OnePlus lost the battle with the name Dash Charge, but the technology is still the same. My OnePlus 60 went from about 15% to 100% in about 1 hour 15 minutes, which is great given that it has a 3700 mAh battery. Alright, let's talk about the camera now. Now, OnePlus smartphones have never been the best when it comes to the optics. I mean, Google and Apple are still the best when it comes to the smartphone photography. But to be honest, OnePlus is not really trying to be best here. It's offering a really good camera which can take some beautiful shots in broad daylight and decent enough shots in low light at an affordable price. But I guess that's enough for most of the people out there. We have a dual 16 megapixel sensor at the back with f1.7 aperture, optical image stabilization, coupled with a 20 megapixel front camera again with f1.7 aperture. Now this camera setup at the back can take some really good looking shots in broad daylight with accurate colors, good amount of details and dynamic range. In some situations it does like to overexpose highlights, but in other situations it worked just fine for me. OnePlus has also added the nightscape feature on the software side. The camera takes a couple of seconds to capture a night shot or a low light shot. As you can see, it was a hit or a miss during my testing, as there were times it worked great and the other times it kind of messed it up, making the whole photo look like an oil painting. I did try the night sight feature from the Google camera and it worked much better. Apart from this, the portrait mode is a welcome improvement from OnePlus 6 because I felt on the OnePlus 6 it still needed some final touches. Coming to the front camera, the 20 megapixel sensor that effectively takes photos at 16 megapixels did a great job in my opinion. You don't get anything fancy here as OnePlus didn't really have much space in that tiny water drop notch, but still the pictures from the front camera came out really good and the portrait mode too worked a lot better again from the OnePlus 6. Now, who should actually think of buying the OnePlus 60? This becomes a whole new ball game if the OnePlus 6 is still available in your country. Because if it's still available in your country or you are a OnePlus 6 user right now, I see no point for you to upgrade to the OnePlus 60 because there is not a lot you are missing out on. On the other hand, if you are coming from an older OnePlus device like the OnePlus 3 or the OnePlus 5 or any other Android device, OnePlus 60 is a really good flagship upgrade for you. So yes guys, this was my quick review of the OnePlus 60. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, go smash that like button and subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell icon so that you get notified whenever we upload our next video. So till then, this has been Nirupam signing off from TQnet. The very first time I got my hands on the OnePlus 60, it felt big to me. I mean, like, not as big as the